Hello there, I'm Rylan, and I just got this new case. I'm going to be putting that computer that's right over there inside this. Alright, I got everything set up here, the pieces of the case and then the pieces of my computer. Now, one thing you may notice that's different from my last video is that I actually have an adapter card here for Wi-Fi because I was tired of this cable that's still there. I need to move it. That's going across the floor. And then on top of that, you may be thinking, well, Rylan, in your last setup video, you said you're going to be using Parsec. I kind of gave up on that idea. I really wanted something local, and that just was not cutting it. So that's why I have this computer up here. I have a riserless board downstairs, in case you're wondering, for my mining rig. So we're going to hop right into this time lapse here. I'm disassembling the case, as you can see, trying to figure out how to put it together and all. This is a really interesting case design. I really liked it. It's a full open air configuration. You'll see it at the end of the video, but it is just so creative. In fact, I'll leave the link in the description below. I believe I can make the link go through my affiliate program if you want to support me. That would be amazing if you are interested in this case as much as I am, because I've been looking out for it for some time now. And I just really think it's a really cool looking case. It's not like, doesn't have RGB throw up on it. It's a nice case. Anyway, here I'm putting on the legs of the computer, and I'm struggling here because the way they have it, I really needed a magnetic screwdriver, and I did not have that. In fact, later in this time lapse, I go and try and grab another screwdriver to see if it's magnetic, and I don't. It didn't have magnets on it, so I struggled with this foot piece here to eventually I almost gave up. But what I ended up doing is that there's 4 screw holes in there, and I was able to put the screw in 2 before I put the leg on. Actually, like what I'm doing right now with it, I just screw it in. I put the screws in first, and then I put the screwdriver in after I put it there, and then screw it in. So it's not filling all the holes, but it's filling enough for it to be stable. Now I may go back and try and figure that out and put the rest of the screws in there, but it may not. It seems to be fine right now. I really need to just grab a magnetic screwdriver for that. All right, here I'm putting on the power supply, and I kind of struggle with this for a minute because the brackets are a little bit confusing, and yeah, it's just a little bit confusing. I read over the instructions for a little bit. Anyway, I go ahead and put it on. It takes me a minute. So here I'm screwing in the power supply here and trying to get everything ready. But then I put the motherboard on, and then I realized that the power supply needs to go the other way that it says in the instructions. It's only supposed to go a certain way if it's a smaller power supply, and another certain way if it's a larger one. The first time I put it on was flat against the case itself, and that wasn't working. The motherboard was too large for it. So I took the whole thing off, and then I put on the case. I put on the motherboard again, and it fit just fine. I took the whole power supply off, and then I put it in flat with the floor, if that makes sense. And then the motherboard fit as it was supposed to. Here I'm placing the motherboard on, and it was a little hard to figure out which screws go where, but it was pretty. I could get the hang of it, and it seemed pretty simple after I figured it out. Now, you may notice right next to me there are feet to the right of me. To my left, to your right, there are feet right there. Now, I didn't put those on, but what they are is that you can have the PC case, you can take off the feet and have it sit like it is right now in the time lapse, and sit like just facing up. And that seems really cool to me. I don't have room to do it that way. And also I saw that you can wall mount this, and that just blew my mind. That is ridiculous. You can wall mount this case. If you look to the complete right of the screen, you'll see the back panel, which I have off. And those holes there are for I forgot what they're called, but the thing you hook up to your your TV to hook up to the wall. A wall mount, that's what it's called. And that is just really interesting to me. This case is just so creative. I bought it for like $110 online. It's a Thermaltake case. P3, I believe, is what it's called. And it is just really amazing. Now we're going to ignore the fact that I don't have the back plate for this computer, and we're just going to completely ignore that, alright? Alright, I'm almost done here. I just need to put the GPU in, and that's about it. Oh, and the back panel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do want to end up using this right here, this radiator. Thing is, I'm a little lazy, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. And on top of that, I don't know where my thermal paste is. So yeah, it's going to be a project on hold for a little bit. Anyway, I've decided I'm just going to go downstairs and grab my 3080 Ti and then swap it for this 2060. So that way I can have my 3080 Ti in this computer here, and it's going to look all nice. And yeah, so let me go grab that. I'll be right back. Alright, I've installed the GPU. Now, one thing I might change in the future is I might add the RGB RAM instead of this standard, green and then another dim. So far this is like 4 and 8 gigabytes, but this is just like what I could find lying around when I threw this rig together. So I might switch this out here in the future, and I probably need to dust this off as well. This is not that great, but anyway, I'm going to put on the back panel. I don't think there's anything else to do. Oh, one last thing is that these cables here, I might swap them out for that one 12-pin cable that NVIDIA has for their GPUs. That's this connector right here, because this doesn't look good. On top of that, I was thinking I was for sure going to have to do that because these are actually have two ends to them, but I was able to hide the two ends, the other two ends to this one. That's it. The only other plans I have for upgrades is swapping the fan here for that radiator, and then getting colorful RAM. That's really pretty much it. I'm going to put on the front panel, the back panel, and then see how it runs. So I decided to do a little bit more cable managing before I fired it up because I didn't want to have to go back and do it all over again. Wanted to put it up there and just be done with it. Typically I wouldn't do this, but I really felt like I wasn't going to run into too many issues with this. There wasn't really much I could think of that I would run into issues wise. Yeah, this is just me putting it together. I didn't realize when I initially put it in that there was this whole panel I could hide. This whole piece I could hide cables around, so that's what I rewired it on. Anyway, the whole case turned out really, really nice. I think it is just so fabulously gorgeous. Anyway, here's me pulling off the plastic piece. It's so satisfying to do that. Alright, let's turn it on. Okay, looks like everything is going well. Now I'm going to hook up the keyboard and mouse and TV. Alright, I got everything hooked up here. I'm installing the 512 drivers because I believe that's the last one with the complete LHR unlock. And now it's all looking pretty here. I got my keychain there full of a few things. And yeah, so it's done here. Maybe one day I'll upgrade the motherboard and CPU because this is an 8700K. Great CPU. But it's getting a little old with the new, 13th gen is coming up, so that is something to keep in mind. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.